Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today I am going to let you know some really helpful information about flights and about getting tested on the cruise ship, whether you have to be tested to go on the next week of your cruise, or if you are planning to be tested, especially if you are planning to get your test done by Princess to fly home to the United States, as well as some other updates of what's going on some of our ships. So first of all, I'd like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members, and a big welcome to everyone who is new as well. We're really excited to be here with all of you and are so grateful for each one of you for being here with us and being part of our family. If anyone hasn't subscribed yet, we would love it if you would subscribe, and we think that you are going to enjoy being a member of the Let's Go family just as much as we will enjoy having you. So first of all, I wanted to give you a quick update about our flights. I've mentioned that we were having trouble with our flights, and so we were using Vonage, which is a little like an internet phone plan that we have just for our home phone, because I need to have a home line actually, because sometimes I still have to occasionally fax for my work, and so we always have that line. And the handy thing is there's an app for your phone, and then you can use the internet to make a phone call. And it's really quite remarkable. It doesn't use near as much, it doesn't take as much internet to be able to use that as it does to, like, if you're trying to FaceTime somebody. I think it even takes less than FaceTime audio, because I've tried FaceTime audio sometimes with, like, trying to call our children, and it doesn't work good, but the Vonage works really good. So anyway, that's what we were trying to use to call Princess to get our flights fixed. Well, last night after about 2.5 hours, the call dropped again, and so Gordon went down to guest services, and we had asked it at guest services before 2 times, but not really gotten anybody helpful. But last night he got a really nice helpful person there, and she told him that they could actually send a message to Princess Ezair and try to get them to fix the flights. And so he is actually down there right now. We just got done with our live and ate a quick dinner, and so we just got like a hamburger at the grill up by the pool. And anyway, so he is down there asking if they were able to make any headway in getting that fixed, and so hopefully he'll find out, and we'll let you know here when he gets back. But that's where we are. And as far as how we knew that our flights had been changed, we have not received any communication from Princess whatsoever. The way that he found out is we went online to book some other airplane tickets, and in Delta it shows you what all of the flights are that you have booked, and those flights weren't there. And so we knew that they were gone at that point, and that's when we figured out how they had been changed. And so I just wanted to let you know, really keep an eye on your flights. If he hadn't seen that when we were just in Rome and going to book another, it wasn't even in Rome, it's been even since then. But anyway, if he hadn't seen that, we would still not know that our flights had been changed. And so just keep an eye on your flights is what my recommendation would be. And I appreciated a couple of you have made comments about, it's interesting how I've changed how I talk about Princess Ezair, because truly up until this point we had never ever had a problem with Princess Ezair, and we have used it on every Princess cruise that we have been on, every single one. It has worked smoothly every time. We have never had anything like this happen, but it's enough of a big deal to me that it's changed how I look at that. And so I'm truly not going to use Princess Ezair until I feel like I'm hearing better things about it, or it seems like I honestly think it's because they aren't ticketing fast enough. They're holding on to their money longer, and so maybe I'll just wait a while until it seems like they're bouncing back a little bit better. I'll just kind of have to see how it goes, but for now I'm booking my own flights for everything. I'm not going to book through a cruise line. And so that's where we stand with our flights right now. The next thing that I wanted to let you know is really interesting. So I mentioned that we had to be tested this morning in preparation for tomorrow is turnaround day in Athens. It's the day that if you're going to be ending your cruise, you get off and then new people get on. And so since we're staying another week, they said we had to be tested. And thank you all for all of your love and for your prayers. I was so relieved that we tested negative. They literally just have you go down, and when you get down there, they test you, and then they say go back to your cabin for a half an hour. And if you don't get a phone call, no news is good news. And so we did, and we did not get a phone call. So we are really happy that we were both negative. But when we were leaving the testing area, I bumped into our Let's Go family member, Geraldine, who was on this cruise, and she's elite with Princess. And she said that she did not know anything about an appointment for testing until she happened to see my video this morning. And it was morning our time when it went up, because our internet was so poor last night that we didn't get it up when we usually do. You probably noticed it was later than usual. And that was just a blessing, honestly, that even got up, because when Gordon said, oh, it just got up, it was like I couldn't even check my email. And so anyway, so luckily she saw it, and she's like, I haven't heard a word about testing, and we are supposed to be being tested by Princess to be able to fly home. So she went down to customer service and said, what's going on? And they said, well, we've decided that we are not going to test any of the passengers if their flight leaves after noon on disembarkation day. They're just going to have to get tested at the airport. There was no communication with people whatsoever about that. So she said, well, you said you would test me. And they're like, well, we've changed our policy now. And she said, well, you told me you would do it, and so you need to do it. If you want to change it for the next cruise, then you need to let those people know. Excuse me. So they told her she had to talk to the ship's doctor. So she went and talked to the ship's doctor of all the silly things, and they said, yeah, you can be tested. And so she was able to be tested for her flight home tomorrow. And so be really aware that they are probably not going to be doing the testing for you, especially if your flight leaves afternoon on disembarkation day. That's at least here. I would love to hear from any of you who are on any different cruises. I know, and keep in mind that Princess and Holland America are not doing testing in Vancouver. At disembarkation, you're just going to have to get your own test at the airport, or figure out how you're going to do it in order to fly back to the United States. And clearly out of here, they aren't going to be doing it if you're flying out after noon is the time that they told her. And so I surely will keep you up to date when I hear more about that. I looked at the protocols really quick. After we bumped into her, we had to come up here and be here for half an hour anyway. And so it doesn't say anything about that. So really be aware. The other thing that you really need to be aware of is that the internet, at least on the Regal Princess, is not going fast enough to be able to complete an eMed test. The eMed tests are the ones that Gordon and I just love, that we ordered from Optum. We've got those videos up, one showing how to do it with a computer, another one showing how to do it with your cell phone. And just tonight, as we were walking, leaving our cabin, there was a lady in the hall, and the night before you have to put out your luggage if you're leaving. Well, she was out there. The room steward was on the phone with the medical center. They were saying no, she can't have a COVID test to fly home. And she's like, I have an eMed test with me, and I have tried several times, and the internet keeps timing out for me to be able to get it done. I can't get the eMed test done. And so be aware that you might have to take your test. If you have an eMed test, you might have to just pull over somewhere and do it at the airport. If you have got, if you can access your phone plan and have the data to do it that way. Otherwise, see, the thing is, it's like, how do you take it into Mykonos and do it there? That's just kind of hard. I mean, you could just pull over and pull up the little phone call on your phone and do it. But it's really crazy. I just wanted you to know that you cannot rely on the ship's Wi-Fi to be able to do it on the Regal Princess. And so, and you know what, that could even vary where you are on the ship. So I just wanted to let you know about that so that you guys can kind of think through things. And I did check, and there is testing at the Barcelona airport and the Rome airport, and at the Athens airport. I checked those airports and at the Copenhagen airport. All 4 of those airports, which are the ones in Europe that Princess sails from, or that you would be cruising into and needing to fly home, those all have testing. And I know, like, if you're in the United States, I know that they've got testing at SeaTac. They've got testing in San Francisco, in Los Angeles. I have a video that talks about testing in Los Angeles, and then also at the Fort Lauderdale airport. In my video when we went there in January, I also showed where the testing is there. And so luckily there is testing at the airports. James, who's our Let's Go family member, is on the Royal Princess right now, and he was kind enough to send an update and let us know that there are 1,777 passengers on his ship and a full staff. He says that the service is excellent, the internet works most of the time, the Medallion app is so-so, and he thinks it needs more work, which ours needs more work too. The food, while good in the main dining room, he has seen better. He would definitely use Club Class again. They never have to wait for a table and don't have to have reservations, and they get 25% off on their bottles of wine, which they enjoy. And he said he hasn't seen any evidence of COVID there on the ship, but he is sure it's there. And he was told that there were about 170 cases on the previous cruise. And then he says the weather here in Alaska has been absolutely perfect with warm, sunny days. And so thank you very much for that update, James. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we have COVID on our ship as well, but at least everybody is still able to sail okay. And then I also wanted to let you know that on our ship, to my knowledge, they have never firmly announced how many people were on the sailing. I think it's around 2,800 is what I've decided. They had mentioned that we had 2,000 people and that 800 stayed on from the previous cruise. And so I think that it's maybe 2,800, but they haven't really talked about it a lot. And so I just wanted to bring you up to date on that. And then also, as far as the Ruby Princess goes, I have only heard good things about the Ruby Princess lately, except for a few things here and there that maybe a couple of people have mentioned that maybe she seems a little bit worn out. But our Let's Go family members, Code 4 for Life, they have their own channel, and you might want to take a look because the Ruby Princess is their favorite ship, and I am behind on watching their videos due to our slow internet, but they have been posting videos because they've been on the Ruby Princess very recently. And so you might want to go ahead and take a look at their channel. A very gracious Let's Go family member said that they're going to be on the Coral Princess in June this month, and so we're really excited to hear about that. Several people on the Discovery Princess have said that everything is going really great there. And then I just wanted to let you all know a thing that I think is great to end with, and that is that one of our Let's Go family members pointed out they were sailing in Alaska, and when they are just out on their balcony and just thoroughly enjoying the scenery, she's like, our problems that we've had with Princess just fade away, and we enjoy being out here on the balcony. And you know, I would say that too. One of you was so kind to say you could tell I was really stressed about the flights and the testing and everything to go with that, but you were so kind to wish me well and trying to relax a little bit, and I really appreciate that because it is so just grand to be in these places and get to see so many different cultures and people and beautiful, beautiful places that the flights will be okay, and we just need to enjoy where we are. So thank you very much for adding that. I really appreciate it, and that's really why we go cruising, isn't it? So thank you all. I'll talk to you again as soon as Gordon gets back. Thanks. Okay, so Gordon got back from customer service, and he's going to tell us what they said.
Okay, so number one, they were very busy because tomorrow is a turnaround day. So everybody else is down there settling their bill. So this guy was super nice to take the time to talk to me because he realized, well, he's an officer, and he realizes that everybody is important. So
Well, that's good.
I went through and explained to him the whole deal about we were on the wrong flights. And like Allison has mentioned, we didn't notice this until we happened to be booking a flight for another trip, and in the Delta app it showed no flights. And that put me into a panic, which I spent basically a day and a half with guest services trying to figure out what was going on before they could even finally find our newly booked American airline flights, which is now a 3-leg rather than a 2-leg flight. And American wants to charge us $90 a seat and $25 a bag. We have status with Delta, and that was specifically why we had paid for those Delta flights, which were slightly bit more, but to us it's worth it. So I explained all this to him, and he was quite, well, first he saw the report that the first guy had put in a note to Ezair, and it came back and said, oh, if he wants to be on these flights, it's $1,800 a person for that flight. And I'm like, no, that's not right, because we've already paid for our return flights on Delta, and you've messed up and given us the wrong flights. So he put in all the information of the original flights, as well as the information about our Delta status and the reason why we went with that, and on that direction.
So we'll head back tomorrow?
I'm going to go down there tomorrow. He at first was saying, well, it's a weekend, and I said, well, they say they're 24/7, so hopefully that something will happen.
So we'll be able to tell you if they really are 24/7 or not.
Right.
Yeah.
And he says it is a turnaround day, meaning they're going to be busy. You know, he's the poor guy. You can tell he's just stressed. He's not trying to make any promises, is what he's doing. But that's okay. I'll go down and I'll find out what we can tomorrow. He kind of pointed out, worst case scenario, you have a flight home, you may have to pay, maybe you can get Princess to reimburse. I don't like that, but at the same time, I'm becoming settled to the point that yes, we do have flights home.
Yeah.
That is better than nothing. As much as I don't like the situation, a flight home on an airplane is better than nothing. So
we'll get home.
We'll get home.
But wiser.
Yes.
We won't be booking with Princess Ezair again.
Yes.
Maybe ever.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just really hard, because the only way you can contact them is while you're here is on that en route phone number, which of course is horribly hard to get through to. 4-hour wait times.
Well, and I feel really bad for people that are like at the airport somewhere with flight trouble, and then they're on the phone forever with them. So anyway,
but do know that if you can get down to guest services, they can email them. They can contact them pretty quick, and sending an email is much more convenient than sitting there holding a phone for a possible dropped call.
Yeah.
So there's at least that. That's about the only thing that we've really learned on this, other than as much as we like the idea of Ezair and the convenience that we've had in the past, right now they are not living up to any of their promises. They are not living up to the quality that they had in the past. And so, like Allison said, we're very likely to avoid Ezair because we have a little more, and I'm not trying to say, oh, we have sway with Delta. No, we have experience with Delta. And being that we have a little bit of a status because of the amount of time that we've flown with them, they are a little kind when we have to do things. But this way, their hands were tied on this one because it was done through the third party of Ezair.
Yeah, well, and I think I'll just end telling everybody also, a thing that I also learned is one of our Let's Go family members commented and said, and I don't know if you all saw the comment, but they learned, like they were like in the Arabian Sea, I think they said, on a cruise when the whole shutdown started, and they said that because they had booked their own flights, they could take care of them online, get everything rescheduled in about 10 minutes, where some people that were dealing with the cruise line were spending days trying to get their itinerary fixed. And so I learned a lot here, and I hope that you all maybe learned with me. And so if you've got any questions, just put them in the comments below, and we are happy to do anything that we can find out for you while we're on the ship here, or tell you anything else that you want to know from our experience. But we are just going to thoroughly enjoy Athens tomorrow and have a great time and not worry about our flights. So
because we've done as much as we can, and
but we'll just keep you updated when we hear more once we go back and see what they say next.
I think I've put the stress behind me. It's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll be all right. So we sure do love you all. We appreciate you watching our videos. If you appreciate them, would you please give them a thumbs up, because it really does help YouTube move us up a little bit in the rankings to offer our videos to more people. I'll be talking to y'all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Night.